Hi guys, welcome back. This video is the comparison of two 350cc bikes which are like the best options in that segment. Well, it's about the Honda H'ness CB350 and the Royal Enfield Meteor 350. So here, like all our classic comparison videos, we are going to divide stuff into these 5 factors, and these will cover every aspect of both these bikes. And let's start things with the first factor, which is the design and the build quality. Well, here both these bikes' design have a lot of similarities. It's like their core approach is almost same, and what it is that both these bikes have a very classic design format in a modern manner. And it all starts with the headlight. Both the bikes gets the round shape headlight set, and here they also get the LED touch. But here Honda with the H'ness has gone with a complete modernization approach by offering a full LED headlight system, while the Meteor, like the typical Enfield bikes, has a halogen headlight with LED guide system. Here the range from the H'ness is without doubt the best, but then the Meteor is also a bike which works fine for night rides. Then checking the tank, that's where that core classic theme begins to shine. Both the bikes gets the solid metal tank which is massive in shape, and also both these tanks have a very elegant curve. And here both these bikes also just retain their respective company branding, so that's a neat highlight. And by the way, the bike's branding is showcased in the side panel in both the bikes. Now since we are talking about the tank, let's discuss about the different models available with both these bikes. And here the Honda H'ness CB350 has two models, which are the Deluxe and the Deluxe Pro. And the difference between these two models is that the Deluxe Pro will get dual tone paint scheme and dual horn, while the one we have, being the Deluxe variant, gets the single tone paint scheme. And also this Deluxe variant does miss out on the Honda smartphone voice control system. But with the Royal Enfield Meteor 350, well, there are 3 variants, which are the Fireball, Stellar and Supernova. And here the one we tested is the Supernova, which is the top variant, and here the changes with the models in the Meteor are basically cosmetic, with the Supernova version getting all the chrome touches, and also this version does get the windshield. Now coming back to the design comparison, well, the Meteor's exhaust is a compact one, and yet this chrome accent is not present in the Fireball variant. And while checking the H'ness CB350, well, the exhaust will be the chrome finish one in both the variants, and its design is a bit more chunky. But then while checking the rear portion, well, both the bikes leans towards a common approach by opting for a simple and small taillight system, and it blends really well with the mudguard. And now moving to the handlebar, well, both these bikes have a chrome finished straight type handlebar, and the switch controls are same, but it's set in a different manner. On the right side, both the bikes gets the engine kill, self-start switch and also the hazard toggle, which are all handy controls. But here, even though the H'ness gets the regular type switch controls, the Meteor gets the circular rotating type one. And this can be seen even in the left side, where the controls in both the bikes are the same, but the switch control format is different. And here the left side gets the pass light control, dim light toggle, indicator control and horn. And here in the Meteor, you also get an extra control, which is the speedometer interaction switch. And talking about the speedometer, well, both the bikes gets the analog digital meter, which looks clean and also shares some common similarity while checking the info, but the H'ness shows some unique info like the average mileage, distance to empty, real-time mileage, etc., which is not present in the Meteor. But then the Meteor does have the tripper navigation system, which is Google Map based. And also I do prefer the design format used in this Meteor speedo console system. So this is everything about the design, and here both these bikes have their common theme with slight changes here and there. And actually this similarity thing is noticeable even in the build quality, because both these bikes are extremely well built bikes with a lot of metal throughout. And here after checking the design and build quality, it's basically like both these bikes fall well into just one segment in which the competition looks very tough and interesting. And actually from this, I feel the rest of the factors in the comparison is going to play a very strong role. So let's move into the second factor, which is the specifications. Now this factor is just paper stuff, but then it's going to give some basic idea, and for that first let's pull up the engine spec sheet. And here as you can see, the H'ness and the Meteor are both powered by a 350cc engine, which are programmed fuel injection engines of BS6 standards. But here the H'ness gets an air-cooled engine, while the Meteor gets an air oil-cooled engine. And here the max power and torque figures in paper is slightly dominated by the H'ness. But then checking the ground clearance, the H'ness has a slightly lesser number measuring 166 mm, while the Meteor gets a 170 mm clearance. But with the curb weight, the H'ness weighs 181 kilograms, while the Meteor is a bit more heavier bike with curb weight of 191 kilograms. But then both the bikes gets the same fuel tank capacity of 15 liters, which is a good thing. And then checking the tire measurements, the front tire measurement in both the bikes are almost same, measuring 100 mm in thickness, and they are fitted to a 19-inch alloy wheel. But with the rear tire, the measurements does change. The H'ness gets a 130 mm thick tire and it's fitted to a 18-inch rim, but the Meteor on the other hand gets a 140 mm thick tire, but it's fitted to a 17-inch rim. And by the way, both the bikes gets tubeless tires, which is a neat thing. And about the brakes offered, well, both the bikes have a dual channel ABS system with dual disc setup, but the measurement is slightly different. And lastly about the suspension used, the H'ness gets a telescopic front suspension and a twin hydraulic rear one, and the Meteor also gets a telescopic front one and a twin tube 6-step adjustable rear suspension. So that's everything for the specification, and here also both the companies does stay neck on neck, but the next thing is a big one, and it's surely going to have a lot of difference too, and that factor is the ride quality and comfort. We'll start with the Meteor, and here the Meteor's engine is tuned to offer that consistent punch with proper gear shift ratio, and here the Meteor does generate that quicker initial punch with also the ability to generate that same amount of torque at that low end too. So while riding the Meteor, what I felt is that right from the start the ride is powerful yet very controlled, and here you can ride the Meteor in a very casual manner, and when you need that punch you can throttle hard and the bike instantly generates enough power so that the speed gain is quick. Here from the Meteor, the vibrations are minimal compared to the older Enfield bikes, but then there is a bit of stiffness from the clutch, and also about the gearbox, it's a good one with proper shifting, and also there wasn't any gear missing issues happening from this 5-speed gearbox. And also the ride quality was maintained well from 0 to 100 km/h, and here hitting the 100 mark was also easy. And here one more thing to notice is that in open road while cruising with this variant, which is the Supernova, the windshield does help to offer a less tiring ride. So it's like Royal Enfield's claim of Meteor being a cruise easy bike is very correct, and here I feel open roads or city traffic rides are enjoyable in the Meteor. But then while checking the H'ness, we all know that Honda is pretty famous for its unmatched engine refinement, and that's what they have done here too. The engine in the H'ness is packed with technology and it's also tuned to perfection. That sheer Honda quality is very evident right when we start the ride. The ride in the H'ness has the best smoothness and it's like the bike just flows through with ease. There was literally no vibration or engine stress for a speed range from 0 to 100 km/h, and here also with the H'ness, hitting the 100 mark was simple. But then Honda's tuning is a lot different than what we get from the Meteor. The gear ratio in the H'ness CB350 is set in a longer format manner, and because of that, the need for the top gear happens only after crossing the 70 to 80 km/h. So it's like you don't need to shift to the 5th gear in city traffic because the 4th gear is all that's needed while you're casually riding. I got used to this gear shifting pattern, and to be frank, I feel Honda has thought a lot and they might have intentionally done this because the H'ness can generate impressive power right from standstill, and because of that, Honda did equip the H'ness with torque control system to help the rider from the rear wheel slip if you do abrupt throttle, and that's a great safety thing. And here because of this power, you won't notice any strain from the engine because of the longer gear shift pattern. And also since there is slipper clutch, the clutch feel is just next level. So these all add up to give a very impressive ride quality as well as a great performance from the H'ness CB350. So that's a big advantage for the H'ness, but then the Meteor does pull things back with the seating comfort. Because here the seat used in the Meteor is long and wide enough and has slightly better cushioning than the seat used in the H'ness. But that said, it doesn't mean that the H'ness seat is not a comfortable one, and in fact it's a great one, but here in the comparison, the Meteor gets the edge in that, but then the H'ness does have the upper hand with the posture comfort. Meteor goes for a full-on very commanding upright riding posture, which is good, but then it might feel like a bit overdone because the H'ness keeps it simple with a proper upright posture, and that along with the excellent quality suspension in the H'ness does offer great ride comfort for both the rider and the pillion. But here with the pillion, if the pillion height is on the very taller side, they might feel a bit discomfort after a long ride. Now the Meteor also gets a great quality moderately soft set suspension combo, and hence the comfort in the Meteor is also great for longer rides for both the rider and the pillion. And here from the comparison point of view, I feel the comfort part will vary based on your preference because both these bikes does offer different style of seating and riding posture. But in general, both these bikes are well suited for touring. And now about the safety side, well, yeah, both the bikes does get excellent brake and tire combo, and during my testing, it was like both the bikes are safe enough for panic braking under the speed of 80 to 90 km/h. And also about the handling, well, both the bikes does stay in control, but the lighter weight in the H'ness makes it a tad bit better in the ride control department. And lastly, if in case you're wondering about the heat generated by both these engines, well, even though the Meteor gets a air oil cooled engine, well, still the just air cooled engine in the H'ness stays a bit more cooler. So that's everything about the ride quality and comfort from both these bikes, and here in this factor, there is a lot of differences. But it's not yet time to finalize one because we have 2 more factors left, and hence let's move to the 4th factor, which is the mileage. Now this one is also a very close factor because here after testing the H'ness, we got an approx mileage of 41 km/L, while from the Meteor, we got a mileage of approx 40 km/L. So it's very negligible, and hence I won't consider that there is a winner in this factor. And also like always, please note this is the mileage we got, and for you the mileage might be different because mileage totally depends on riding style and riding conditions. And now to the last factor, which is the pricing. This is the ex-showroom pricing of both these bikes, all variants, and here as you can see, the H'ness is a bit more expensive one, but then the price gap is also not very huge. The top variant is just approximately 3000 rupees more with the H'ness compared to the Meteor. So I guess that's everything for this detailed comparison. And I feel this comparison is the most difficult one, because here both these bikes are very close and the buying decision surely resides on the way both the bikes perform in road and also the extra features they both offer. Honda H'ness CB350 is a bike with the best refined engine which offers a smooth and vibration-free ride throughout, and it has the extra features like slipper clutch and torque control system, and its gear ratio is what makes it very different. But even with that, Honda has surely created one of the best classic bikes, and this is surely a great entry by Honda in this segment. Now the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 is a bike that's designed with cruising in mind, and hence the engine and the gear ratio is set in such a manner, and the additional features that stand out in the Meteor is the triple navigation system, the windshield, and also the customization options available is a great add-on. And by the way, the availability factor is something the Meteor has an upper hand because the Meteor can be bought from any Royal Enfield dealerships, while the H'ness is just available in big wing Honda dealerships, so it's like Honda did make it tough for everyone to easily get access to the H'ness. And yeah, the final decision making thing should totally depend on the things that you value the most, and yeah, for me, I do lean a bit towards the Honda H'ness because of that sheer Honda engine quality. That's what I prioritize, and that's the reason for me picking the H'ness CB350. But then which one will you pick from the two? Please leave that in the comment section below. And also, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and a sub to the channel will be awesome. See you again in the next one. Till then, bye, and always ride safe.